Earth may be dying. Some are looking off-world for a fresh start. The competition for land and resources out here is brutal. In this winner-take-all environment, people are doing anything to succeed. You need to stake your claim, earn your place, and do your best to save humankind's future.
Amazing intro. Hey guys, it's the Clumsy Geek, and welcome to Offworld Trading Company. This is a brand new fully released game. I think it was in early access a year back or a few months ago, but it's fully released now as far as I know, and there have been a couple of improvements. Anyway, we're playing this for the first time, and actually, although I want to jump straight into the game with you, I think we would be better off with playing the tutorial, because honestly, when I first saw this game on YouTube, I was looking for it, a gameplay video. I was just overwhelmed with how much stuff is in the game. So I think it's better to start fresh and start small. And let's take it one step at a time, okay? But what is it all about? Well, as the name, Offworld Trading Company, it is more on economic game, but it's like an RTS, economic RTS. Something like that. So something like Command and Conquer, StarCraft. So real-time strategy, but instead of firing and destroying your opponents through firepower, you destroy them through economy. Buying them out, getting all the resources, buying and selling, all those stuff. Buying stocks and everything. So it's amazing. Very complicated. That's a fair warning, but very addicting as well. So as you can see, learn to play here. This is the tutorial part, and I've been playing through some of the missions here just so I can get a feel of the game. But let's start in the beginning. The business building seminar. Work with Joji 5 from Yoshimi Robotics to learn how to extract resources from the Martian surface. Now there is a lot of text as well in the game, and I might not read through all of them, but feel free to pause the video and just take a look if you're feeling very ready. Alright, and yeah, I also have a giveaway, so I have one extra copy. So I got in touch with the developers when I saw this game, and they gave me 2 copies. So I have one extra, and it's for a giveaway. So see the link below in the description for details on how to get the copy of this one. Alright, so good luck to whoever who wins. But yeah, let's get started. Business building seminar. Sign up for this exciting seminar offered by Yoshimi Robotics. So this game has a couple of factions, like 4 factions I think. Yoshimi Robotics is one of them. So there's like the expansive, scientific, robotic, and how do you call that? Like the scavenger type. So 4 types. And we'll go through them as we go along the game. But for now, let's start with this very basic tutorial. Trusted helpers ever working till the end. There we go. This is Joji 5. And he'll be overseeing our upgrade to knowledge. So he's a bit sarcastic and anti-human, so you might notice a couple of weird comments here. We expect you to upgrade the robotics facilities, this one. Your decisions will be less than optimal. See? This is unavoidable and quite human. Okay, I'm the man for the job. What a magnificent achievement. Alright. Quite right. Okay, so this is how it goes. We see these boxes here. The red ones or orange ones, or how do you call it, rusty ones, represent iron deposits. The gray-green ones represent aluminum deposits. But as you can see, there are different numbers of cubes. The higher the cube, like this one is 2 high, this is just 1, the more resources it gives. So placing a structure here to extract this iron node gives more than placing one here on just on this one cube, right? Mining a deposit doesn't use it up, but a higher deposit yields more resources over the same time period. Time to build. So you can see on the left side here, is the list of resources. Right now there are only 2, but expect in the full game, like when we really go outside the tutorial, everything here will be filled up. And each of those will need their own constructor, own structure. Okay. Navigating the camera, simple arrow keys, zooming in, scrolling with the mouse. Okay, so now let's build. This is aluminum, and we can produce aluminum by creating a metal mine right here. So there are arrows that are leading to where the deposits are to guide us. So in case you don't know, like if it's far away in the map, at least we have an idea. And look at here. So building on a 1 cube aluminum gives us 1.3. On 2 cubes, it gives us 1.95. So definitely go for that one. There's also a specific power consumption for each structure you build, but we're not at that point yet. Okay, let's also construct a metal mine right here. The Clumsy Geek. Level 1 Robotic HQ. There we go, excellent work. Okay, so the building progress is right here. We'll see that when it's finished. You can also see how they're created exactly. And this is pretty entertaining to watch. Alright, there we go. Transport ships deliver resources to our factory from remote locations. Okay. So the number next to this one represents the amount of aluminum we have in storage, this one. So we have 80 aluminum and 60 iron now. It will be used to upgrade our factory. Unfortunately, iron is quite prone to deterioration. Please build a steel mill next. Wow, this is a tongue twister. Okay. So now we have a new resource called steel. And in order to create that, we have to build something here. So steel is produced by consuming power and iron, as you can see there. And you can actually build it anywhere. But sometimes there are bonuses. And the bonuses are specific to depending what race or what class you are, what faction you are. Like here, if I build it here, you can see there's a plus 50% bonus because it's right next to the metal mine, which gets iron. So let's build there. You can also see these transport ships right here. Let me go back to that. When you build the steel mill next to the metal mine, it received a 50% bonus. Right. Structures receive a production bonus if connected to a building, providing a resource they consume. That makes sense. And you can see these transports right here because this is a mine that is in a faraway location right there. But if you build right next to the HQ, like if I build something here, maybe we can just do that for... no, need approval. Okay, anyway. But if I build next to the HQ, you can see that dashed line there. That dashed line represents the territory of our headquarters. So if you build something right next to the HQ or along its territory, you don't need to have that transport ship loaded. It will automatically be included in your stockpile. Okay, so that is a very good thing to take note of. Okay, anyway, let's upgrade our HQ. And yeah, we're doing a great job. Alright, some other resources are popping up now. The yellow one is silicon, the black one is carbon. We need mines for metals and quarries for elements. Elements are represented by this like triangle thing, 3D triangle thing. So now let's construct a quarry on this carbon right here. And one more quarry, this time for silicon right here. Now it all starts pretty simple and straightforward, building elements or building structures to gather each element. But it's not normally this way in the game. You have an option to buy and sell. And depending on how the situation is, on how the price of each material is, you might opt to just buy it off or opt to construct or create your own. Now, how to decide which is which? That's where the experience comes in. Okay, how do I get energy? Now, as I mentioned earlier, each structure contains or consumes amount of fuel or energy. In this case, we need some energy to provide for all of these. So we have an option of solar panels or wind turbines. And now we have access to solar panel right here. We need a couple more silicon. There we go. And now we can construct it. Now it depends, alright? There are places where it's better. Like you can see these shaded cells or hexagons. You can see the amount of power produced. This is 1.17, but the brighter cells show 1.3. So let's build maybe here. 1.3. There we go. Now a solar panel only gets energy in the morning when there's a sun, right? Makes sense. And that is going to be a very important factor moving forward. Now, because this is a tutorial mission, it's not really that important yet. You see the time is paused, but normally it would be playing out. So let's wait and finish this building right here. And you can see how it's constructed. Looks so cool. Right? Very entertaining to look at. Cool, okay, now it's done. And the tutorial made it nighttime to illustrate the point that we're not getting any power because it's night. Okay. There we go. Now we also have an option to construct a wind turbine. This is also a source of power, but this is not dependent on the sun. So the same way, we have cells which indicate how much power we're going to get. So maybe let's make one here. 1.17. Nighttime. See, there's a note there. Nighttime, building is off. And let's see how this is made. There's even sound effects in there. So cool. You see, our power is positive now because it's the daytime. The solar panel started working, and now it's even more positive because of the wind turbine finished. Nice. So now we have a new resource called electronics. Most of the future or advanced upgrades require electronics. And we can build this anywhere, but it makes sense to build it right next to the HQ or in this territory. So we don't need transports to ship them. Let's watch this one as well. Oh, it's getting constructed now. We also have an option to fast forward time or pause it. Pausing is important for planning out stuff, and we will be using that more. You can also turn the speed up like so, but in a real game, I would never do that, at least not at this point, because it gets very complicated. Right, so let's upgrade it again. And then, there is one more thing. There are things like this. I think this is called a thermal vent. There we go. A thermal vent can also be utilized for power by constructing a geothermal plant right next to it. Now take note that these vents are very limited. Like in the map, there are only limited number of them, like 5 at most, I guess. Sometimes there's even 1 or none at all. So imagine when a real game starts and you have like 4 opponents with you. So for sure, it's a race to make the geothermal plant and make a structure out of that. Right? That's going to be pretty interesting. Okay, but that ends the first tutorial. Great job, human. Okay, I guess let's play one more to get a brief look at how the game would look like, because we didn't really get an idea out of that first one. It was all very basic, and the beauty of the game didn't really shine yet. Okay, so now let's play as the expansive colony with Paolo Rubini and Macy Song. Seneca Development. Capitalism at its finest. Yeah, that's what this game is all about. Alright, sign me up. Okay. Alright, now, the mission earlier, we were playing the robotics faction, right? Now, robots, they don't need water and food. Now, this time, we are working with real humans, so water is very important. We can construct water pumps out of them. And let me illustrate this. So if I build right next to the HQ, you can see that the dotted lines, they grow. That means that we are expanding our territory. And anything that is within our territory doesn't need any transports. So it's automatically transferred. All the things produced are transferred to the stockpile. Okay. Now we have a customer. And the customer is this one, the colony. So in each map, there is like a neutral colony where all the humans or all the creatures live. And we will need to transact with them from time to time. How do we know what they need? Now this is where the stock market comes in. Or marketplace maybe. Look at this. Food is selling at $90 per decabushel. You should make a move and invest some resources into producing food. Like, look at the price here. This is the price for each resource. And behind, you can see like a chart of how much it increased or decreased over time, the price. You can see that the food price is just going way up. So it's definitely a good idea to stock on food so we can sell that. And this price is controlled by supply and demand. If you make too much of something, the price will go down. And if you sell it, the price will go down. And the other way around. Okay? So now we can construct greenhouse farm. But you can see the requirements here. We need 10 glass. We don't have 10 glass, right? So instead, we can buy that 10 glass right here. Instead of creating a glass producing structure, we can just buy it off if we don't really need that much. So let's go and sell off some water. You can see the prices going down as we sell. And now we should have enough money to buy it, I think. Yeah, so you can see here, it should display there. But anyway, let's do it manually. Let's buy 10 glass. Now we have 10, and now we can create the greenhouse farm. Now we can create a greenhouse farm anyway, because greenhouse farm consumes power and water and produces food. Now you can see we don't have the bonus anymore, as with the earlier faction, that when we build right next to a producing facility, we get a bonus. So this expansive faction doesn't have that exact bonus as well. So actually we can build this anywhere, like there maybe. Look at how that's built. It just looks amazing. Right? Let's speed it up a bit. Okay, there we go. Now let's buy more glass. Because the mission says so. We need to buy 10 more. Maybe sell off some more iron. There we go. And we need to build 2 greenhouse farms. Okay, let's build one more. You can see there's a 50% bonus. That's when we build right next to each other. Like one greenhouse farm right next to each other. Putting buildings next to each other is a good way to get more of a good thing. Right. There we go. Now we need breathable air. There we go. Fuel and oxygen. And we make that by... That is also made by power and water. So we can also build that anywhere. Let's build that here. Let's build 2 of those. To get the 50% bonus, let's stack them right next to each other. And anticipate massive profits. Okay, fine. Amazing. Alright. Now we see that we are at negative water because all of our structures for producing oxygen, fuel, and food require water. That means we need to build another pump. Now there is also a concept of land claims. You can see that we don't have any claims anymore. This is at 0. And in order to build claims, or in order to build structures, you need to have a land claim. Now it says we don't have any. What do? We can upgrade our HQ. Upgrading always yields additional claims. There, upgrade for additional 5 claims. So let's do that. I just need to sell something first. So look at this. Food price is always increasing. So we can make lots of money out of that. Look, 10k already. And we have so much food we don't need. But we can't just keep on selling because the price will go down. So we can wait for it to come up again and then sell again. Can we upgrade now? Okay, so in this tutorial we need to buy it manually. Because normally it would be automatic. There you go. Now we have 5 claim tiles. And now we can construct a solar condenser. A solar condenser also yields water, but it is doing so by melting snow. Melting ice right there. The white structures, or the white tiles right here. So let's build one right here. And one more beside it for the 50% bonus. Looks cool, right? Now, since this is a solar condenser, it requires sunlight. So at nighttime, that won't run at all. So at nighttime, we will be running out of water again. But that should be okay. We should have plenty stocked up. Look, plus 2.75 per second. And during nighttime, that will change, but it should be good as well. Should also build a water pump right here. There's even a drill right there. Amazing. Okay. I feel bad keeping secrets from you at this point. It's time to come clean. We have quite a deficit. You can see we have debt. So that looks bad, right? We have 14k, but we have a debt of 8k and increasing. And usually debt is incurred when you don't have power. So when you don't have enough power, it automatically resorts to buying power for you at market price. And that is automatically transferred to your debt. So you can see our debt is increasing. That means we need to construct power so we don't incur any more debt and we can pay it off eventually. So let's maybe place one right here and build one more right there and learn to live with debt. Now, a good concept of this tutorial mission is you don't need to pay your debt all the time. Like there is such a thing as credit rating, and your debt increases or your interest is incurred based on that credit rating. It will be explained later on, but for now, look at this. If I try to pay off my debt, it won't allow me. Using our cash to make more money is the best way to stay out of debt to begin with. Look, we have more money than we need now. So actually, our debt is getting reduced by $20 per second. Yeah, and eventually it will zero out. Look at this. I pressed the pay debt, right? I told you not to freak out about debt. Businesses do this all the time. This is real world stuff. So it's not that because a business has debt, it's a bad thing. It all depends on what they're doing, with what money they're borrowing. So for us, trust me, they'll get paid, but only after we fix our own crisis. So let's focus on building stuff first, and let's worry about debt later on. Okay, we need to buy glass and expand our HQ. There we go. Now, price of glass is increasing, so it makes sense to build our own glass. How? Well, 1 oxygen and 4 silicon is 1 glass. And we have a production of silicon, we have production of oxygen, so why not build a glass kiln? Is that how you pronounce it? So we can produce glass of our own. Look, we're at negative power again, but only because it's nighttime and our solar panels don't work. Okay, this is where it comes in again. Shortage, you can see there. When there is a shortage, low demand, low supply means high demand. And high demand means higher price. That means we can maximize this, and since we're producing glass already, we can opt to sell glass at a higher price right there. So there are events like that, shortages, surpluses, and that comes in with the game. That's the beauty of the game. So let's go and build 3 glass kilns. 1, 2. There we go. So because we put glass kilns right next to each other, this will produce plus 75 production for each of them. How beautiful is that, right? Sell 50 glass, build an elemental quarry for silicon. Don't we have one already? We have one here. Let's build one more there. Because we're running out of silicon because of all the glass that we're producing. Are you getting a gist of how the game works yet? Isn't it interesting? Now we don't have any rivals yet, right? We're all playing on our own, but it's all getting pretty fun. Look at the price of food. We can actually sell food. Look at how money we have because of that. That's amazing. Even water. Cool, right? And there's this color of the price color changes. Turns green when it's more or less higher than the market rate. Turns red when it's lower than the market rate. Something like that, to give you an indicator. Okay, now we have enough. We can sell some glass. Look at that. We have 261 glass. If I just sell one of these from 89k, I get 93k. Just like that. And for the final touch, let's sell off the last 10 glass. Right there. Top-notch performance. It's a win-win because we provide glass to the market and we get a lot of money in the process. We can pay off the debt now, which seemed to not work for some reason. Okay, there. Debt is totally normal. You've lost your debt payback privileges. Ah, okay. So it was not paid off. She just removed it. Because we were foolhardy. Okay. This is the shipping and receiving heart of the colony. This is the port. And sometimes you can build buildings around it. There's an office, machine shop, warehouse, laboratory, port, habitat. These are all neutral buildings. Colony's jobs are split among these structures, and the prices vary depending on what's here. Okay, we can build actually a pleasure dome. Now, a pleasure dome, don't get funny ideas, okay? Pleasure dome is where workers can take a break from long hours of toil. Okay, let's build a pleasure dome right here. We need some electronics though, so let's just buy it off. Quite noisy. A pleasure dome is built not on our base. Well, it can also be built there, but it's more fruitful to have it in the neutral colony right next to the habitats. The habitats are these domed structures here. Now if you build here, we can get 109. That looks like the best spot actually. Let's build that there. Speed the game up. There's the ship. New Los Angeles. That's the neutral spot right there. Okay. And that pleasure dome earns us steady amount of income. Okay, there. It's going to provide a nice income for us. I hope I can see how much. I think that's the 100 plus we saw. Maybe 100 plus per second. Might be. Okay. Before leaving, sign this non-disclosure agreement and non-compete agreement. Refuse to sign. I don't think that has any bearing, but yeah. That's the end of the second tutorial. And let's climb the corporate ladder. And that's actually the end of this video as well. Let me know what you think of this game, guys. I've been playing a bit these tutorial missions, and I'm at this point already. At this point, it's more or less the full game. You have rivals, you have all the resources, all the elements in the game, and it gets quite complicated, and I haven't finished it yet. Okay, so yeah, it requires a steep learning curve. It's very complicated, but it's very fun and very realistic for the grown-ups. So it's a game for the big boys. Excuse me. But yeah, that's going to be it for this video. Let me know what you think. I would love to make more episodes for you guys. So let me know what you think. Comment below and check out the description for details on how to get a copy of this game. I have one copy for giveaway. Alright? That's gonna be it for now. This is the Clumsy Geek signing off. Thanks for watching, guys, and have a nice day. Bye bye.